I see a lot of Bella Delphine. Okay. Yes, we will be playing Val later. We're waiting for VCT to end, and then we'll play with John and Peeps.
And I think there will come a time, I think, where I will...
Oh shit, Ninja is still auto-modded. Keck. I thought that might be the case for a second. Okay, I'll poll it then. Which vid? Belle Island Boys. I see a thigh. Voice critical said. I see a thigh. Oh, merci, Steven. Merci. It's still majority Belle Delphine. All right.
We'll just probably do everything, and then I think I'll leave.
Belle Delphine had the entire internet wrapped around her finger. Viewer Sims, other YouTubers, it didn't even matter if you liked her or not, everyone was always curious as to what she might do next. However, between the months of December 2020 and March 2021, the curiosity
I haven't heard from her in so
People
long.
stopped Googling her name, her army of Twitter followers departed in droves, her Patreon supporters dropped by 90%,
You can see Patreon supporters like that?
her Patreon supporters
Whoa.
dropped by 90%. She's rarely talked about on YouTube unless it's someone investigating what on earth ended up happening to her, and as at the time of posting this video, she hasn't been active on OnlyFans in almost a month, which is pretty insane considering she used to post up to 40 photos per day.
On my OnlyFans, I'm posting about 40 pictures a day.
Oh,
and
wow. Holy
videos
crap.
as well. I try and be as active as I possibly can.
Belle Delphine's career kind of died, and interestingly, there's so many different reasons for it. However, we have to start simple in order to understand the whole picture. So we'll
hustling
begin
the
with this.
Coomers.
Belle
She
Delphine
was.
removed two
She
core
was
components
one of the
from her
first
content
Coomer
that have been
hustlers
keeping
there ever
her
really
persona
was.
interesting.
That
Mystery
made it
and
huge.
intrigue. Belle Delphine discussed on the H3 podcast that one of her main strategies for standing out as unique was that she'd mix her cutesy image with the strangest, most unrelated topics to
Yeah, do you guys remember that squid video she made? I don't remember what it was, but it was like her pet
build
squid
curiosity
or
around her
something.
character.
I've got the taking cute pictures and stuff, but that's not gonna really do
Listen,
it. So
if you know,
I
you know, and if you
decided to
don't
do
worry about
weird
it.
things in the combination as well as being sexy. And I'll be like cracking an egg in my mouth or something. And then people will share that, be like, this girl's so weird and quirky or
But they love
whatever.
you.
This would show in videos such as Meet My Best
She
Friend, in
understood
which Belle Delphine would dress
how
somewhat
to
provocatively
milk
and play
the
with an
internet
octopus
and be
throughout the
very
entire
viral.
video.
This one!
While certainly being a little bit on the weird side, this video worked exactly as intended because, as you might expect, many other influencers went to the effort of talking about the weirdness on their own channels.
Meet my best friends. Some of you have referred to this video as disturbing.
In addition to this, Belle Delphine would become known for her infamous Ahigao face,
I think the
Ahigao.
first thing that went big was the Ahigao face.
which also perfected the mix of mystery, intrigue, and attractiveness, while helping her to stand out as unique after many attributed this face specifically to Belle Delphine. All of this seems like common knowledge now that she's come onto podcasts and explained her story, but in the beginning, Belle was completely silent. She withheld as much information as possible, so when you were unavoidably introduced to her content with nothing more than this photo on your Twitter timeline, intrigue was almost guaranteed. But to keep this intrigue and conversation fresh, Belle Delphine began to escalate her publicity stunts, making them weirder and weirder in order to maintain the public's interest.
It's time to get your gamer girl bathwater.
Belle Delphine's next stunt was so infamous and hilariously successful that talking about it is almost a waste of time.
And then it came to me and it was like,
Not the Gamer Girl
bathwater, like
bathwater.
bottled bathwater.
In July 2019, Belle announced that she'll be selling her bathwater for $30 per
The logo's
jar,
cute
which
though, I'll give her
hilariously
that.
sold out in less than 2 days. YouTubers from every corner of the website joined in on the madness, each of which selling a little bit of their soul for a slight uptick in views after they inevitably drank the bathwater on camera. On the print media side of things, the stupidity of the campaign prompted news article after news
Drinking
article, some of
anyone's
which even
bathwater
going
is
so far as to
yucky.
claim that the bathwater gave an STD to over 50 people.
There was that fake article about the herpes or whatever that spread.
However, these negative articles were still a massive positive for the growth of her overall image.
Even though they're bad, are still kind of good.
It's good press. It's always good
Yeah,
press.
yeah.
By the end of the bathwater campaign, Belle Delphine had well and truly catapulted herself into the mainstream. However, in the process, there were obviously going to be setbacks. By this point in time, Belle Delphine had built what many referred to as an army of...
You know what things like this make me realize? So many of the viral things that we see are fake. Like, even this credit card thing, fake. The 50 people contracted herpes thing, fake. People just love to create
as an army of simps.
You know, people just will make anything up that others will believe.
To cater to and maintain the interest of this army of simps, she would post a photo to her Instagram stating that if she got 1 million likes on the picture, she would create a P-Hub account and begin posting videos to it. The photo smashed the record after totaling well over 2 million likes, and as a result, Belle Delphine would fulfill her promise by creating the account. However, unexpectedly, the content that she would eventually post to the lewd website ended up being nothing more than a publicity stunt. Her videos would feature extremely dirty usernames such as PewDiePie goes
I didn't even know
inside Belle
this.
Delphine. However, upon clicking on the video, you would see nothing more than Belle Delphine simply eating a photo of PewDiePie while remaining fully clothed. Many of her viewers found these
She's kinda
videos to
smart
be
for
hilarious,
that.
even praising her for how intelligent the ideas had been. However, those who expected actual adult content
Grandpa Richards was very disappointed that 19-year-old Belle Delphine did not follow through on her promise of lewd Pornhub content.
weren't all that happy.
Not
Feeling
very
as though
cool,
they'd
Belle.
been misled by Belle Delphine,
Sorry,
many of
Gramps.
her followers hatched a plan to mass report Belle Delphine's Instagram
Can
account
somebody come get their grandpa, please?
with the goal of getting her account taken down, which they would ultimately succeed in achieving.
Suddenly there's huge waves of people trying to like report
I
my
was really
stuff
surprised
and then, like,
Instagram
or
wouldn't
spam. I just noticed it comes in waves,
fix
so
her
I guess
account.
at that time the wave won.
After her Instagram account had been banned and it was becoming clear that she wasn't going to get it back, there was a clear decline in her motivation and social media posting frequency.
Yeah.
She suddenly stopped uploading to Patreon, she took down her merch
Because
site, all
she had such a massive Instagram, like they should know that she's just getting like
while
fake
her YouTube
reported.
became completely inactive. This short break
I don't
would
know if she's
last for
permabanned, but she
approximately
didn't
3
have an
months,
Instagram
at
for a
which
really
point
long
many
time
were
because of
questioning
this.
whether or not she would even return. However, there was still so much mystery surrounding her persona. She had to return, right? Well, yes, she would. But what came as a surprise to many was the method by which she would return, simultaneously shocking the internet and creating more hype around her name than ever before. On the 8th of October 2019, Belle Delphine would make a post to her Twitter page stating, "I got arrested LOL," alongside a Metropolitan Police mugshot. Following this,
it's a
there would be a
cute
tweet
mugshot.
clarifying the mugshot, which stated, "I swear to God this girl came to my party and stole my hamster. I have no idea why or who TF does that. I spray painted the F out of her car and got arrested. At least I got my hamster back," accompanied by 4 photos of the apparent
Bitch,
stunt.
give me my hamster
Unsurprisingly,
back.
Twitter and YouTube completely gobbled the story up, with the main point of
Jesus
discussion being
Christ.
whether or not the whole thing was fake. However, they didn't get the answer immediately, as after making this Twitter post about being arrested, Belle Delphine would completely disappear for a period of 8 whole months. The advantage that Belle Delphine had throughout this break was that there were still so many unanswered questions. She hadn't clarified if the arrest was real or fake. She
I
barely
would've done
shared
the same,
anything
never
about her
mess with the
personal
person's
life, plus
hamster
she was yet to
facts.
post any actual nudity or adult content for her army of simps. The fact that she withheld these elements created anticipation for her return. People wanted to know where she was. The story of Belle Delphine felt like it was yet to come to an end. Videos investigating her disappearance during her hiatus, such as this mega viral hit by Jabroni, would gain upwards of 8 million views in the space of less than a month, showing that people were still well and truly invested in the Belle Delphine saga. Unsurprisingly, after her 8-month extended break had come to an end, Belle Delphine's return was legendary. Her video simply titled "I'm Back" gained 20 million views within only a week, and it was almost as if she had never left in the first place. However, upon her return, Belle Delphine began to make some of the many mistakes which would ultimately result in the decline of her career. Between the months of October 2020 and December 2020, approximately 4 months after returning from her hiatus, she began to appear on podcast after podcast revealing everything there was to know about Belle Delphine.
Welcome, Belle Delphine, to the show! Yay!
Prior to this, Belle Delphine had been excellent at keeping her life ambiguous and mysterious, only ever revealing bite-sized pieces of information regarding her actions, which ensured that the audience was always paying attention, as if they were to stop following for even a second, they might miss some vital update on what she was doing.
I heard you don't really do podcasts or interviews.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to go through them recently because I was cold turkey. I didn't do anything until recently.
Belle Delphine saw massive short-term exposure for these podcast appearances. However, in the process, she would almost completely eradicate all of the mystery, which had been guaranteeing a constant level of intrigue. Belle
That's kinda
Delphine
true.
revealed that most of her publicity stunts were fake.
Is it true or is it fake? It's It was fake.
She talked about her upbringing and reasoning for being this character in the first place.
See, I come from a very conservative family, like super religious.
And most notably, Belle Delphine even revealed that she had a boyfriend for the entirety of her social media journey.
I always had a feeling.
Who's the guy?
It's my boyfriend.
I think you could tell by the way some of her content was shot that she must have had someone very, very close to her helping her with these things. And I was like, she probably has a boyfriend.
How long has that relationship been going on for?
The whole time I've been Belle Delphine.
How long is that?
3 years.
But while Belle Delphine had decided to give up the mystery surrounding her character, there was still one thing keeping her fans invested in the story of Belle Delphine. The fact that she hadn't posted any nudity or adult content, which her army of simps was still waiting to see. However, by late 2020, it seemed as though this was also about to change. On the 27th of November 2020, Belle Delphine would make a Twitter post stating, "I can't believe I'm ending 2020 with a bang," indicating that she was going to post an adult video toward the end of the year. On the Cold Ones podcast in October 2020, Belle Delphine perfectly explained why posting genuine adult content would be so successful for her.
I'm right on the cusp, right? I've never shown real nudity. And then going from that to like full on, I think someone wants to see it.
But in a state of infinite wisdom, Maximofo seemed far more lucid of the long-term dangers.
You can't undo it though, because it's like the machine you've built now is obviously extremely successful and profitable. And it's like, once you cross that boundary, you don't want to sell it for too less than what you're worth. Like, you don't want to get scammed.
Now, this was certainly correct. Belle Delphine had built this perfect structure that basically guaranteed a consistently returning audience. However, this isn't to say that Belle's opinion wasn't also correct. She knew that she was going to make some serious money off the stunt. In the lead up to releasing her first adult scene on the Impulsive podcast, Belle Delphine discussed how much money she was making on her OnlyFans.
I actually forgot whether or not she actually did.
The main people on OnlyFans are roughly earning the same, I think, from what I know, and at the moment it's like $1 million a month.
That's crazy.
However, as the old saying goes, there's no such thing as free money, and the price paid by Belle Delphine for such an insane level of income was that she had to simultaneously sabotage one of the only things keeping her simp army paying attention, the fact that she hadn't done adult content. The adult videos would go live on her OnlyFans, and all seemed well initially. However, 2 months later, in February 2021, approximately 9 months ago, Belle would completely disappear from the internet once again. Now, it's possible that Belle simply got the bag and left the internet with her newly found fortune. However, unless Belle Delphine is secretly an extraterrestrial, human beings don't really work this way. Once we find something that works, we won't abandon it until it's no longer working. What's more likely is that she's trying to deliberately build mystery around her disappearance, which is exactly what happened perfectly with her previous break. She's well aware of the benefits in disappearing without saying anything. When asked about her previous 8-month hiatus, she thought taking a long break was going to end her career, but she was surprised to find everyone waiting for her when she got back.
My 1 year break, for example, it didn't, it was stressful at first because I thought my career was wrecked. But aside from that, I actually had a really good year.
Without a doubt, Belle Delphine thinks that this will be the case when she returns from her current break. Her previous hiatus lured her into a false sense of security, telling her that she can take time off and her audience will always be waiting for her when she returns. However, this time around, things will be much different. As mentioned earlier in the video, during her first hiatus, there was still so much mystery, so many unanswered questions surrounding the Belle Delphine story, and therefore her return was anticipated. Was the arrest story fake? How did this character come about? Did she have a boyfriend? How does this persona affect her personal life? People actually wanted to know more. 8 million people objectively wanted an exact update on what she was up to. However, this time around, all of the questions that kept the story interesting have been answered. She went on numerous podcasts over a 2-month period, explained her strategy around everything, then posted her highly anticipated adult content, and as a result, the story feels concluded. There's nothing else to look forward to, and therefore there's no reason to care about what she's up to. Videos investigating what happened to Belle Delphine on her current hiatus have gained less than 10% of the views compared to those posing a similar question on her previous break. She revealed everything in exchange for a surge in short-term revenue, however the long-term consequences are already starting to reveal themselves.